Hi there guys, I'm Nikhil from Grady Tech and this is a camera review of the iQOO Neo 9 Pro. By the way guys, let me remind you, this is not a camera centric phone, this is more like a gaming phone or a performance oriented phone. But still, it has pretty good cameras. On the rear, it comes with a dual camera setup with a 50 megapixel primary camera with Sony IMX920 sensor with optical image stabilization, and that's followed by an 8 megapixel ultra wide angle camera. For selfies, we get a 16 megapixel camera with f2.45 aperture. Now this is how the camera interface looks like. We don't have the macro mode on this phone, but we can switch between the primary camera and the wide angle. Wide angle is 0.6, and you can also do a digital zoom with the primary camera at 2x. Now these are some sample shots. Now these are some daylight selfies. I must say that the phone is doing a pretty good job. Color reproduction is spot on. Skin tones also look pretty good. There's no over processing going on. By the way, I've disabled all the beauty mode and stuff. So this is like the raw footage. Dynamic range is pretty good and exposure control has also been very well managed, especially in one particular instance where there was the sun right behind me. So overall, front camera does a pretty good job. Now these are some portrait selfies. Edge detection is pretty good, you get a nice blur effect. By the way, you can change the amount of blur you want, like you can increase it or decrease it. And as you have seen, edge detection has done pretty good job, except for this instance where there are leaves directly on my face. I guess that's to be expected. Now these are some selfies taken in low lighting conditions. Some are indoor and some are outdoor. Outdoors, auto flash was turned on, and this is the kind of selfies that you can expect. Color reproduction once again looks pretty good. Once again, it depends upon the amount of light you have. If it is sufficient, you get pretty good selfies. Overall color reproduction, not just of the subject, but objects in the background also look pretty good. Now these are some sample shots taken with the primary 50 megapixel camera. By the way, there is pixel binning by default, so you get compressed images, and this is how they look. Once again, color reproduction is pretty good and exposure control has been very well managed. All the colors have a very natural look to them. They're not too saturated. At least when you look on a normal IPS display, they look pretty natural. By the way, this phone uses the same sensor from the Vivo X100, which is very well known for its cameras. Now these are some photos taken with the wide angle camera. Once again, it does a pretty good job with color reproduction. It looks pretty accurate. Exposure control and dynamic range are also pretty good. Nothing is overexposed or completely blown out. It looks pretty good. Definitely usable. Now these are some portrait shots. Once again, color reproduction is spot on. I guess colors are slightly oversaturated in portrait mode, but still they look pretty good, and the background blur effect is also looking pretty nice. By the way, I've set the aperture to f2.4 for all these photos, and you can change it if you want. Edge detection is also pretty good. This phone also comes with a dedicated 50MP mode, and these are the sample shots. Normally whenever you take a picture, it's compressed because of pixel binning, but for some reason if you want to take a bigger 50 megapixel picture, you can do that. You get a lot of resolution with these photos. Now these are some photos taken in low lighting conditions without the night mode on. In this mode, capturing speeds are pretty good and color reproduction is also pretty good. It doesn't look washed out or it doesn't look too saturated, it's like spot on. Now these are some shots taken in indoor lighting conditions. Once again, this phone does a pretty good job with color reproduction, and as the shutter speeds are fast, there's not a lot of blur going on. Now these are some shots taken in low lighting conditions with the dedicated night mode. As you can see, these photos have a much more contrast to them. They look much cleaner than your regular photos, but you have to hold your phone pretty steadily to get better shots. Once again, color reproduction looks pretty good, but they have a bit more contrast to them. Now these are some shots taken with a wide angle camera in low lighting conditions. I don't think many people will be using this particular feature, but here we go. Now these are the same shots taken with a wide angle camera with the dedicated night mode. Next, these are some sample shots taken in the super moon mode. In this mode, the moon itself is completely software based and they have even enlarged it. So this is how it looks. And this is more like a zoomed in version of that. Now this is a sample footage recorded using the front facing camera. By the way, we can only record video in 1080p at 30 fps using front camera. So guys, this is a sample footage recorded using the front facing camera of iQOO Neo 9 Pro, and I'm recording this video at 1080p resolution at 30 fps. And we also have a feature where we can record video with a background blur effect, which I'll be showing you in a second. So with that said, just check out this footage. By the way, audio is from the phone itself, so check out the noise cancellation and stabilization offered by the phone. With that said, I'll be just walking around. So guys, this is a sample footage with the background blur effect, and we can change the intensity of the blur effect. I've set it to f2.8. So this is the kind of blur effect you can expect. Do check out the edge detection, and once again, audio is from the phone itself, so check out the noise cancellation and stabilization offered by the phone. I'll be just walking around so you can check out the edge detection and stabilization. By the way, there is no additional stabilization mode on this phone, so this is what you get, and it looks pretty good. Now this is a sample footage recorded with the rear camera at 30 fps at standard stabilization. Next I'll switch to ultra stabilization, but for now just check out the footage. Now this is a sample footage recorded with the same 50 megapixel primary camera with ultra stabilization turned on. By the way, this footage has been recorded at 1080p resolution at 60 fps. If you're using ultra stabilization, we can't record video at 30 fps. Now this is a sample footage recorded at 4K resolution at 30 fps using standard stabilization. And finally, this is the 8K footage recorded at 30 fps downscaled to 1080p without stabilization. Like there's no stabilization option, but we do have optical image stabilization. Now this is a sample footage for the portrait video feature, which you can shoot with the rear camera, where you get a background blur effect. And this is how it looks. So guys, this is another sample footage where the video is being recorded with a background blur effect. The bokeh is set to f2.0. Resolution is the same, 1080p resolution at 30 fps. With that said, I'll be just walking around so you can check out the stabilization as well. And once again, audio is from the phone itself, so let me know how it sounds, how good it is, and how the noise cancellation is by commenting below this. So guys, this is a sample footage recorded using the iQOO Neo 9 Pro using its rear camera, primary rear camera. Once again, audio is from the phone itself, and the stabilization is just handheld. So you can check out the noise cancellation and how good the stabilization is. So guys, this is another sample footage where the video is being recorded with a background blur effect. And do note that I've also enabled voice enhancement feature, which can improve vocals in the video. So let me know how this voice sounds compared to the previous video. With that said, I'll be just walking around so you can check out the stabilization as well. And once again, audio is from the phone itself, so let me know how it sounds, how good it is, and how the noise cancellation is by commenting below this. Now this is a sample footage for the slow motion. We can record video at 1080p resolution at a max of 240 fps, and we can also record slow-mo at 720p resolution at 240 fps. So guys, overall I think the camera performance of this phone is pretty good, especially the rear primary camera, that's a 50 megapixel camera, does a very good job. Even the front camera does a pretty good job in good lighting conditions. For a starting price of 35,000 rupees, I think the cameras on this phone are pretty good in combination with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor. If you want a better camera-centric phone, there are probably others in the market, but there isn't as good as a combination as this phone. So guys, what do you think about the camera performance of this phone? Do let me know by commenting below this video. If you like this video, hit the like button, share it with your friends, and do subscribe to our channel. With that said, this is Nikhil signing off. Bye-bye. By the way guys, links for all these photos are in the description. Do check it out if you're interested.